We need a lot of energy for this panel. Without any further ado, I'm going to bring out the three guests. Let's start with Charlotte Flair! That's perfect. And we're going to bring out our other two guests. We have Jeff and Matt, the Hardy Boys! It has begun. All right, just want to make sure all your microphones work. We doing good?
Testing,
check.
Woo! Well, thank you guys so much for being here. And what I think is so cool is the three of you are the hometown heroes right here in North Carolina.
Sometimes hometown heroes, sometimes hometown villains, a little bit of everything.
Either way,
Out
of curiosity, does it feel different making an appearance or performing in your hometown state?
I enjoy performing in my hometown, not only because it's like, usually there's like some friends and family there, but also I get to drive home and sleep in my home bed that night. That's the biggest advantage of it, in all honesty.
How about you, Charlotte?
Well, if I still lived in Charlotte, yeah, I agree with being able just to drive home, but just being able to have all your friends and family that you grew up with come to the show, and like for me, growing up and going to watch my dad at the same Coliseum and then wrestling there, it's surreal.
And your dad was here this weekend as well.
Yeah.
That must be so cool, being able to like do shows with your dad.
No, I think he just wanted to hang out and watch me sign for the rest of the day. I'm like, no, Dad, I'll see you afterwards.
So since we are here at a convention, I'm just curious, what are you guys fans of?
I am a fan of a lot of the TV shows that are on now, like series. Like I was a big Dexter fan back in the day, True Detective, specifically the first season. There was some True Blood, and a lot of those things, those elements I combined together to put into Broken Matt Hardy as well. So I'm a big TV series person right now.
I'm a fan of music, all genres. It's a way of telling stories that's very personal from your own perspective, because I write songs and I just can't get enough of it, man. I love to like just zone out and get into that world of somebody's song that they created.
I don't know, since I started wrestling, I feel like there's so many things I want to do, but just it's work. But I guess when I travel, it's like finding good restaurants and new gyms and just enjoying traveling and seeing the city that I go to.
Very cool. Before we go to questions from the audience, obviously the three of you guys are revolutionaries. I mean, you with the women's revolution and tag team revolution. And I just want to know, where do you guys see the future of the divisions?
I will always be a tag team wrestling fan, just because obviously that was our dream as kids. We just wanted to one day be the WWE World Tag Team Champions. Obviously we did that many times over, and then we branched out into single success as well. So I hope, and I have good faith that the WWE will continue to utilize tag team wrestling and hopefully make it very prominent. And I think much like the men's singles division and the world title is obviously the main event, and I think the women's world championship could be the main event. I think a great tag team match could be the main event as well. So I would like to see the tag team division utilized like that.
I've always said, Matt has the Hardy Boys, I have the Hardy Girls, and years ago I said, man, wouldn't it be cool if there's a women's tag team division, there was women's tag team championships, and here we are. So evolution is in full effect, and these guys are killing it, man, each and every night. And there's going to be more main events at WrestleMania like there was last year, and it's going to keep getting better.
Yeah, I think what Jeff said, everyone keeps saying, this year's WrestleMania was the pinnacle of the women's evolution, but to me it's like, okay, just because we main evented one WrestleMania, it's all like, okay, it's all done, the revolution's over, we're gonna go back to 2-minute matches. It's like, no, it's like, I want to main event Tampa, I want to main event, multiple WrestleManias, and like he said, maybe the women's tag team main eventing or having more opportunities, and it's just continuing the grind and building a deeper division with more women from all over the world.
So if it's okay with you guys, take some questions from the audience. Okay, so once again, just one question per person, please.
Hi, my name is Steve from Greensboro, home of the original Starcade. So my question is for all three of you, three great wrestlers from our home state. What are some of your favorite things about North Carolina, whether it's past or now or whatever?
I hope I don't get booed for this, but the Tar Heels?
I do one thing that I do love about living here in North Carolina. I live right in the middle of the state, so the beach is an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes away, and then the mountains is a couple hours away too. So it's kind of the perfect spot, and it's all I've known. And we live on a big property, the Hardy compound, that a lot of people have seen on TV, and a lot of the Broken Universe cinematic pieces. I mean, we live there, so I love that, and I love being out and secluded. When I am in the midst of working in front of all these people, I get to go home to nothingness, which I enjoy.
I don't know, being born and raised in Charlotte, and I went to Appalachian State and then transferred to NC State, graduated from NC State. Go Pack! Many moons ago. I don't know, it's just home is where the heart is, and I went to Providence Day, Providence High, and I guess playing volleyball in North Carolina and being state champs, and just every time I land in North Carolina, it's like, okay, I'm home, even though I live in Florida and travel the world. It's just, I don't know, just Flair country, I guess.
What's your name?
DJ. I'm from Montgomery County, Visco, Canada. My question is for Charlotte. If you had to be a tag team competitor, who would your tag team partner be?
Well, once upon a time, it would have been the Man. But I don't think anyone wants to tag with me, so probably not. Oh, you know, maybe Stephanie McMahon would be my tag partner.
You can tilt the mic down.
Okay. My name is Lindsay. I'm from High Point. My question is for Charlotte. It's a similar question to what you asked, but more career-based. You've main evented WrestleMania, and you just surpassed Trish Stratus's record. What's next for you in your career?
I think it's just continuing to get better. And like I said, when I woke up from main eventing in New Jersey, or New York, New Jersey, I was like, that's it? Like, I want more. Like, I want to do it again. I want to do it over. I want to main event multiple WrestleManias and continue to, you know, close out SmackDown on Tuesday nights and just, yeah, just getting better. Maybe breaking my dad's record. Just kidding.
All right, tilt it down if you. There you go.
My name is Emma, and this is for all of you. When you guys were kids, what was your favorite wrestler growing up and why?
I was just going to say, my favorite wrestler was the Macho Man. He was the one that originally hooked me in this crazy world known as sports entertainment, professional wrestling. You know, he was an over-the-top character who talked in this crazy voice, oh yeah, you know, and he also wrestled, his finisher was an elbow drop off the top rope, so to me and him, that was very exciting. He did like a cool athletic move, so the Macho Man Randy Savage was my guy.
For me, it's got to be from NWA's Sting, and then from WWF at the time, The Ultimate Warrior. Why? Because they painted their face. I didn't understand it, but that's why I paint my face today, and I love it.
I'd have to say Dusty Rhodes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dave. A lot of people here are excited to meet you. So I was wondering, which celebrities have you been excited to meet, and were you nervous?
I would say the person that I got to meet that I was probably most excited about back in the day was Eddie Vedder. I'm a big Pearl Jam fan. We actually had a deal with Stone Gossard, who's also in the band Pearl Jam. His nephew came to WrestleMania in Seattle, and we were there and in the mix at the time, and they hooked us up where we could go to Charlotte to one of the Pearl Jam concerts, and we went backstage and met the band. And I remember meeting him, and I thought that was very cool at the moment, like, oh man, this is weird. There's like not a lot of these people that I'd be excited to meet. But I was very excited to meet him just because of all his skills, and obviously his music was very influential in my early life.
When I was in TNA, I did an appearance out in, I think, Vegas, some country music award show. And we did this shooting thing, like where we shot the skeets or whatever. And there, Blake Shelton was there and a lot of music people, but Aaron Lewis from Stained, he was like this master shooter, and I didn't know how to shoot this pistol or whatever it was, and but he came over there and showed me how, and I was like, outside, it's been a while, I mean, something to remind you. I was just so nervous, and I tried to stay cool, but I'm sure I was a super fan. As far as I know, that guy, what's wrong with that dude? You know? But anyway, I was like, wow, he's the man.
I didn't get to meet her, but my dad called me one time and said he was sitting on the plane with Britney Spears. And I was like, can you please put her on the phone? So, even though I wasn't there, I was like, take a picture right now.
So did your dad actually like, introduce himself to Britney Spears?
I'm sure he did.
You know he did. Oh my God, he didn't. I'm sure they hung out later.
100%.
Hey, my name is Jason, Raleigh, North Carolina native. This question is for the Queen. So back at the Royal Rumble, you had a moment where you traded chops with Kairi Sane. Could we possibly look forward to you two mixing it up, say, between now and WrestleMania next year?
I hope so.
Thank you.
That's all I got, I hope so.
Hello, I have a question for all of you. I was wondering what inspired you to be a wrestler and what got you into your wrestling career today?
For me, it was my little brother. He wanted to be just like my dad, and his dream was to be a professional wrestler, and I started because of him.
I would say just for me, like once we finally started watching pro wrestling, we just looked at these guys. We both played baseball when we were younger, and we kind of had aspirations to be baseball players. But then we saw wrestling, and we said, oh my God, these sports entertainer guys are larger than life superheroes, like really doing this deal, that have all these magical, crazy characters and do these like larger than life things. That's what we want to do, and that's how it started for us.
My first deal was I wanted to play for the Atlanta Braves. I loved baseball. Then I got my first dirt bike, fell in love with racing, and I spent every piece of like money I would make just to make that race and ride amateur, you know, and it was so expensive. But then I started wrestling like on a professional level, and I said, wow, I'm really good at this. So it was a God-given talent. And so naturally I stopped spending money on my motorcycle and started going to all these shows and wrestling for hamburgers and cheeseburgers until like I'm here. So I mean, it was just something I was naturally born to do, and I just followed my heart.
Thank you.
Did you make sure that the thing's pressed up so we can hear you?
Hello, my name is Grayson, and I have a question for all three of you. I was wondering, what do you do before matches to prepare yourself?
Well, I get really nervous, definitely. And I'm like, why do I do this? No, I just try to visualize the story I'm trying to tell and try to get in the zone where, like, how do I walk through the curtain and become this larger than life character that acts like a queen, and just try to psych myself up. I guess I'm very quiet maybe before, and I always say a little prayer.
I do jumping jacks. I just try and loosen up my body. I've been doing this for 27 years, and you don't understand how hard it is to be Matt Hardy.
It's a lot less stressful when I don't like paint my face, so I'm not worried about that. But every time I get to the building, I have to go poop and say a prayer while I'm pooping. And then no matter what, I do my stretching, and I have to do 48 push-ups exactly. And if I don't do that, I just freak myself out, and I'm saying, this is going to be some bad luck going on out there. So yeah, that's my everyday when I'm in the ring.
Thank you.
I can vouch for him too. Jeff Hardy is a creature of ritual, no doubt. Like, he has to do things to the exact number. Of course I do.
We appreciate that honesty. All right. Next question.
Hi, my name's Alex. This question's for all of you. If you all had like a dream opponent that you could go against, who would it be and why?
I guess I would have to say my dream opponent would be the Macho Man Randy Savage, just because he was my favorite guy growing up and obviously never got a chance to wrestle him.
I've been so lucky. I almost said Jushin Thunder Liger, but I forgot I've already done that. But anyway, I gotta say Andre the Giant, sure.
I guess it would be Stephanie McMahon. Yeah. So I see if I could out heal her. I don't know.
Thank you guys.
Hello, I got a question for all three of you. If you had a tag team match where the three of you teamed up, who would it be against and why? Like tag team wise.
Did you say all three of them together?
Yeah, three.
Okay, so all three of y'all.
Like if if you three had a team up together, who would it be against and why?
I would say the three of us from Carolina, originally, North Carolina, against three Canadians, Edge, Christian, and Trish Stratus.
Great match. Thank you.
Chills. Whew.
Hi, my name is Ryan. First of all, thank you all for being here, and more importantly, welcome back home. Hardy Boys, WrestleMania 33. It's my first one. I was in the front row of the top deck. I swear to God, the stadium was shaking. What was that like from your perspective?
I mean, I honestly got to say, it was wild because, and I know the pressure was killing him. We'd known for about almost 5 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks, we were going to be there. A few weeks out, we knew it was going to be a ladder match. And it really stayed under wraps and confidential, which is very rare in this day and age, right? So we get to the building after the show. WrestleMania's already started. We watched the pre-show at our hotel. We get there after the show started, like the second match, and literally 3 to 4 minutes before we're going out into this sea of humanity, you know, all these tens of thousands of people, they rush us up to Gorilla, and it's like, you know, we say hello to Vince, and Cena's there, and Michael Hayes, and, you know, everybody from top to bottom. And then we walk out through this curtain and down this ramp, which was huge and massive, but it was so surreal and dreamlike because we hadn't seen this stuff at all. Or, you know, usually during the day when you're at a big show, you walk out and you have an idea visually of how it's going to look. We didn't know that. Like, we saw this ramp where we felt like at one point we were going to fall off. It was like 30 feet high, you know, but then the crowd was legitimately so excited, and they'd been following what we were doing before. There were so many people going, delete, delete, you know, and to see this crowd knowing what we've been doing and keeping up with it, and to see legitimate surprise where people were going, oh my God, I can't believe it, ah, they're really here, I can't believe this is happening. You know, you see that, you know, from 85,000 people. And it was just truly magical. That's the word I use to describe it. It was like a magical moment, and it's surreal. Hard to believe it was truly real. It feels like something you dreamt.
Yeah, and keeping that secret was so challenging through the month of March of 2017. And I just remember asking, I was so nervous, and I think I asked Mark Carano, can I go somewhere and yell and scream? Oh, yeah, sure. So I just went there, I was like, hey! Like a madman. But I felt better afterwards. And then, man, we busted through that curtain, and it was like we were home, man, back to normal.
Appreciate it. Thank you all.
Some terrible yelling. So.
Thank you for making us feel so awake. No, I'm great. I just got word, though, this has to be our final question, and I completely apologize. So final question, and then we're going to take a big group picture.
Hi, my name's Nima. This is directed to all of you. If you had an opponent outside of WWE who you would like to face, who would it be?
You said if you face someone outside of WWE?
You would like to face it outside of WWE that you haven't.
I'm not even sure if he's still wrestling, but when I first saw AAA for the first time, saw Rey Mysterio for the first time, and Psychosis, those guys going at it, there was this guy called La Parka, and he looked like a skeleton. So man, would do a lot of their spots, and they would do so many cool spots that were just like cartoon-like, and I just loved it. So I would say La Parka for me.
Man, that's a tricky question, just because we almost, before we come back to it, we wrestled everyone on the outside. I don't know. I'll say someone, Okada, how about that? Maybe from Japan. We beat those spot monkeys a whole bunch of times.
Probably Gail Kim. Yeah. Just because, yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
So before we wrap this up and take a group picture, any final thoughts from you guys today?
I just want to say thank you all for coming out to see me and see us. And it's always cool to be home in North Carolina, here in Raleigh. And the cool thing about tonight is I actually get to go home and spend one more night in my bed before I actually go to my real job tomorrow. So thank you guys for coming out.
Thank you for the great questions.
All right, so we're gonna bring out the photographer. If y'all wanna come stand right up here in the front of the stage, and if you guys...
I got my issues. You got me breaking up my best shoes. Yeah, you never mentioned that you could handle the attention. Yeah, I've been spending hours and hours a day trying to keep these games and these demons at bay.